Hello. Haven't made video in a while, but yeah, the day after tomorrow is race day, and it's my first triathlon of 2024. I'm in Spain. I'm going to be racing a Mediterranean Epic half, which is a race happening in a town called Oropesa Del Mar. I just drove to the town, to the venue, and this is going to be the main stretch of the road that will take us to the bike course, to the main bike course. And then on the way back there's going to be 2 loops. And now basically I'm coming off sickness. I haven't been training properly for the last week, but yeah, I'm trying to get fresh to the race, and today is the goal to just see the actual loop. I know that it's going to be not super flat. There's 750 meters of elevation for 85 kilometer, I think, and there's going to be 2 laps that are completely the same, and for the first something around 15k we're going to be climbing. Then there should be a flat section in the middle, and then we're coming back like flat again, and then downhill. So the goal for today is not to do anything crazy, not to get super tired. It's just to ride the course and see how slow will we be going uphill, and then how much speed can we get on the downhill. It's pretty straight, so I think that probably it should be a relatively fast up and downhill. And here's a nice intersection. So here we're going to be turning left and getting out of the town soon. First 8 minutes in, and it's super nice. Like, the road is actually very flat and smooth and straight. I had to ride 2 climbs, which were like bridges for, I don't know, like 200 meters maybe, not more. So nothing special so far, but we are going to be going somewhere up there. But the biggest gradient should be not more than 10% on like a very short section, I think. So we'll see. I'm catching up on someone who I think is also getting ready for the race. So now going through the main climb. Right now I'm at 1.2% gradient. I was just riding 2.5%, and so basically it's not hard. I will probably try to target around high zone 3 on the climb, so something around 260 to 180 watts probably on the climb. And you can go like, now the grade is 2.7, and I'm going 25k an hour at 260 to 170 watts, so you can go fast. So I'm gonna be staying on the aero bars basically throughout the whole route. So far it's really nice. Like, the views are amazing. I keep climbing, and there was only one section where I had to go to the small ring. So far everything is super smooth. Like, the road goes so gradually uphill that on the race day I would be just riding all the way on aero bar. I'm not sure about the descent because it's actually not super straight. I mean, of course it is rideable on the aero bars, but if I can also spin the pedals, and if I change gears a lot, because I don't have a TT bike, I'm probably gonna be staying on the drops. What's interesting, there's a few sections here where they have kind of noisy paint, and then there's a bridge with just a concrete on the top. The quality is pretty bad, but so they have this paint and they have speed bumps, so you know when it's coming, but actually it's quite sketchy. So I'm very happy that I'm riding the course now, because tomorrow no, the day after tomorrow, it's good to know like what's coming. And more steeper section coming. And here comes the climb. I'm riding around 5% gradient now, and it just slightly kicks up, and it looks like this is the only kind of steep section. I already ascended 200 meters, and there's going to be 350 per lap, so majority of it is not noticeable really. It's not gonna fly super fast, but it's not gonna be super hard either. And it's such a nice place. And I'm all done with the climb. Now what's supposed to be is just a completely or almost flat section, back and forth, and then descending the same route. And on the Saturday we're gonna do this twice. Right now I feel like I'm already going, yeah, I'm going quick. So it's flat, it's nice, gonna stay in aero bars, the views are very nice, and the climb wasn't that hard. Like, I started a little bit less far today because I live like on the road, but I managed to the top of the climb in 35 minutes, which is, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, of course it's not half the loop, but there's going to be not that much more coming, because there's a big flat section, and then we turned back in, yeah, I think 5k, then I'm turning back and then going descending. So that's gonna be it. Also this morning I went for a swim, which is an interesting point. I haven't been swimming for a week after being sick. I did 10 times 100 meters, and then every 3rd, 6th and 9th I did hard effort. So the first one was actually tough. I did 135, which is, I mean, it's not a fast 100 for me, but then the last I did 130, so the body's recovering. That seems nice. And coming to the turnaround point, Arc Roma. Back. So the guys who are going to be doing full distance, they actually have 60k laps, and then they're going to continue climbing further, but we're gonna just turn around here. And now let's see, I have 47 minutes up. I'm gonna see how much time do I need to get down. Woo. And I'm almost done riding through the town. I have, I think, a few hundred meters left to the house, but yeah, so the lap I'm doing is 1 hour 20 minutes. For the race, I would be happy if I do it in maybe like 110. So let me see, right now I'm averaging a little bit over 30k an hour. On the race I want to do 35, 36. Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, there was more to give today for sure, especially in the early stages of the climb, and I know that there is no really scary part of it, so there's no reason to really save the legs on the climb, because there's nothing super critical coming up. So yeah, it should be good to go. And I think I'm gonna try to record something on the race day, but we'll see. Anyways, like, subscribe, and you know, like everything, the usual. Now I need to find where my family is to get the keys from the house. Very weird place, super empty, like a zombie land. I just finishing with a small comment on Oropesa Del Mar. It's a very interesting place. It looks like just like a bunch of hotels on the seashore, and yeah, and that's pretty much it. And there is no one around here, so I think it's not really the season yet. So everything looks super empty, and like all the roads, all the streets, there's just no one around. And yeah, but all the buildings are huge because it's like hotels. So very interesting to see it. I got the race number. Now just need to walk through the expo, prepare the bike, and yeah, and leave it for the transit area. Okay, so after speaking to a guy, I decided to leave my bike just as it is, without any tools, without helmet, because it looks like it might rain a little bit overnight, and so of course having anything wet in the morning is not nice before the race. So the trick is that everyone, or not everyone, but a lot of people are federated, so they are members of the Spanish Triathlon Federation as amateurs, and here they get their own chip, which they carry with them throughout the year. So for every race they have their own chip that they just bring with them, and they don't get one when they sign up. And on my previous race, the problem was that after I finished, I didn't know where to give it away, like because everyone had their own, and everyone was like, yeah, I don't know, I got my own chip. So it was a problem to actually return it to the organizers, because no one knew who to give it to. So yeah, now I have the answer, and this is the sea. It looks much better when it's morning. Tomorrow it should be sunny, it should be quite warm, and yeah, we'll see how it will play out. I feel very fresh. I ended up running a little bit for like 20 minutes today, and we went karting with the family, which was quite nice. So yeah, not a very active day, which is good for the pre-race day. Good morning. It's 6:40, race day. Today I decided for the first time not to have breakfast first thing in the morning. I just woke up, had a coffee, packed all the stuff I have, and I'm going to a transition area. It opens in 5 minutes for an hour to get everything ready. And today we have the full distance, like the Ironman length distance, starting first at 8 a.m. and then my start, which is like non-federated 70.3 half distance. We're starting at 8:45. Sorry, no, 9:45. So I decided that it doesn't make sense to have breakfast more than 3 hours before. So I'm going to transition, then I'm going home, and then I'm just going to show up at the start line, which is, I think this is the best thing I've done before, that you can you can prepare the bike and then go back home, leave the stuff you don't need, and then only show up for the race. So all done. I think I put the nutrition on. I decided to lube the chain. Running shoes, bike. Yeah, all done. This way I'm gonna run with the bike, and then after the bike. I keep having a feeling that I forgot something. I mean, racing, before I was racing like 8 times a year, and this is a completely different thing when there's almost muscle memory for even preparing the bike. And yeah, today it's my first race since 6 months, and then before that my last race was a year before that, so I'm not really racing frequently, and I'm not planning to get racing more frequently. Like this year I maybe will do another one or maybe 2 triathlons, which is yeah, for the 70.3 distance, that is actually fine, probably, because it allows to be in good shape for each. But yeah, but I'm not really doing the short ones, which I do a lot, and they allow to prepare well for the all administrative side stuff around it. When in transition you don't really think about anything anymore, you just run through it. And yeah, on my previous race I lost my bike, and today, yeah, I think everything should be fine, but I'm not sure. Like we'll have to see during the race. Like I forgot the rubber bands. That will already slow me down. All ready. My start is in 15 minutes, and yeah, I cannot be any more ready than I am now, I think. Just left to drop off the bag, and yeah, the rest is all done. So I'm done. It was not easy after all. So the swim went actually very well, but it was a very adventurous swim, so the time is actually pretty bad. I finished in 37 minutes, but according to my watch, like the GPS track, I swam extra, like 150 meters at least, which I think is actually true, because they were like, the waves were big enough that you cannot see anything. So I was going actually quite okay. I'm happy with like pacing and the way I was moving forward, but I just could not see where I was going. And basically I could see people in front. I could see the buoy maybe 50 meters when it was in front, but not much more. Then with the bike, I'm actually quite happy. The bike was very strong, like the uphills and the descents. I think I managed pretty well. In terms of the power, it was not that high, but I think the speed from power was not that bad for the course today, and I was overtaking like many people on the bike. What I think went well also is like nutrition side. I took, I think it was 230 grams of carbs for 2.5 hours of the bike. So that like went very well. But basically by the end of the bike, like at the end of the second lap, I was feeling that like the head is not that clear anymore. Not that like I felt bad, but that I actually needed to focus on, to pay attention to, like, to make sure I ride safe, and like it just felt as like small extra efforts to to pay attention to the road. yeah, I mean, I was sick just a week ago. I had fever, so I think that was just not like not recovered yet. And then when I went to the run, I started not too fast. I started maybe around 4:45, 4:50 per kilometer, and I was feeling that this is probably my best pace for today, because I just don't feel like it's gonna go anywhere. Not because like I was sore, not because I was like I had any lack of energy. It just did energy, but not the kind of energy that is like from carbs and fueling, but more that just overall body was not ready to perform. So I decided that I'm gonna just go slow. I'm like, the goal was to just enjoy everything. So I went slow, and then I walked every aid station. I just took some water. I didn't really want to eat anymore because I was not gonna run any faster, and I was like, I just had plenty of carbs. So yeah, just proceeded like that and finished with my slowest run in a few years, probably, for a 70.3. So like the run itself was 1 hour 50 minutes, and I did run like hour and a half marathons in the distance in the triathlon, and then I ran 1:25 just half marathon. So that was just not the day. I could have potentially been running 4:15 or so per kilometer, and I did slower than 5 minutes. I think the average was like 5:20, including the walk breaks. But yeah, that felt like this was the kind of day I had. And after being sick, I think it was just a normal way to finish it. So yeah, the total time is like 5:06, which doesn't really mean anything, because yeah, having 2 hours 30 minutes on the bike and then 1:50 on the run, it's not really a race anymore. But the bike was really enjoyable, and I think that if I felt good, I could have probably had more power in the legs to push up the hill, especially for the second lap. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm quite happy. I think it's nice, and I can see a train, which this one's probably going from Valencia to Barcelona or Tarragona or something like that. Anyway, that's like the weekend done. I'm drawing this stuff, and tomorrow morning we're going to Valencia and then back home to get there. So yeah, actually a week from now I'm going to do a super long ride, which is interesting. I'm not gonna tell about it now. I'm gonna try to make a video about it, and let's see what happens there. And for now, I just gonna recover for that.